Hello, good morning VC, this is the Headbanging Zulu here, better known as Steve. Just a few things I want to say first. Thank you for everybody who subscribed to this channel. I have now reached around about 100, I think it's 112 subscribers now, and I wish to thank everybody. What I'm about to say, I've been doing a lot of soul searching. Because what everybody does when they hit 100 viewers or 50 viewers is have a contest. But the problem is, I was going to do one, to be brutally honest. I had all the questions written out. Unfortunately, with me commuting from West Midlands to South all the time, it'll be inappropriate for me to do one. I mean a competition, that is, not something else. For the simple reason is, if anything was to happen, and I had to be off the computer for a couple of days, and I sort of forgot to pay the money, because it's all out of my hands, my life is at the moment, because I have to look after my auntie, and we have other issues. So there was other things that came into the consideration, so I decided not to do it. It's a very hard, it took a lot of soul searching. That was my main reason for not doing a contest. But I'd like to thank everybody who has subbed to this channel. I do love you all. I have made a lot of new friends on my subs. I just want to do a shout out, and you know me, my brain's like a sift. There is a lad who does follow me, and he comes from, I won't say exactly where, but he know what, he begins with an S. He lives in Lincolnshire, and he lives just down the road from where I used to live in Boston. And I'm a Lincolnshire lad as well. I used to go to school in Curtin, and it's now changed its name. That's what I'm telling you. Then I moved up into where I'm living now in '82. So I am a Lincolnshire lad. I went to school there, and I spent quite a lot of my life there. And so a big shout out to you, my friend, anyway. I don't want to say his handle, I don't want to sort of break his privacy, if you know what I mean, or do anything detrimental. But I just want to say a big shout out to everybody who subbed to this channel. I do love you, and I better show some CDs. We're going to talk about the sugar tax first. I don't know what you Americans are like. On British news, or Canadians that matter. Morning, Greg. They have imposed a sugar tax in the UK for people who drink pop or soda or whatever you want to call it. I personally don't drink the stuff, but apparently it's to conquer obesity, they said. But I said to them, well, you've got to conquer obesity, stop showing all them food programs. So I don't know what it's like in America. I think it's called the cable networks. But every channel on the UK at the moment seems to be about chefs cooking food. No wonder why everybody's fat. Get rid of all them programmes, we'll all be thin, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's straight up. Aaron the Metal Theologian, a big shout out, brother. He wouldn't like it in the UK at the moment because he'd have to pay tax on his soda. I hope he's watching this, but it's what it's coming to in the UK. It just made me laugh, you know what I mean? They're taxing everything at the moment. I don't know what it's like in America. Probably could hit me up in the comments down below what the American brothers think of it. But yeah, tax on soda. I mean, where I live, they tax beer. There'll be a revolution, man, I tell you. Another one. We've already had one revolution here. There'll be a revolution. So anyway, the weather's really bad here. We've got a lot of rain. And I've had to, do another camera angle, and it's the best one I've had so far, to be honest. I'm going to keep this one relatively short, because the light could go on me. I better hold up some CDs, that's why it's called the BC, I could chat all day. But I don't know where this band's from, but shall we just say Scandinavia for argument's sake. Been listening to a lot of this at the moment. I know a lot of the VC members have shown it, but this is a killer album. And I absolutely love it, and I played it 2 or 3 times, and I'm just giving you a quick tour of the cover, and it's nicely presented as well. You get a nice little booklet with it, and it's just a nice presentation. The album is absolutely killer heavy metal, just awesome. Thoroughly enjoying it. Another band I've got, and I haven't opened these yet, but I'm going to. And this is Blackmore Rules' fault, Greg. Is this band? It's an Australian band, Airborne. You think AC/DC, Rose Tattoo, them sort of bands, you're not far off the mark. But I can't wait to play this. I've heard really good reports of this band. So I've got. I think this one's a live album, but I might be mistaken. These are the two I've got in my collection so far. So I shall rock out to these later. But yeah, just a great, great Australian heavy metal band. There's some really good metal comes out of Australia. Hiya, who? How you doing, mate? Won't mention the Australian cricket. Shut up. Anyway, Mr. Scott Waters, your turn now. A few things have been floating to and from. I would have shown them earlier, but I've had a few issues here I don't want to go into. But I thought I'd show them now. This is when in the BC we sort of hold up CDs or vinyl and pretend we know what we're talking about. But I ain't got a clue on any of these CDs, so I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just going to hold them up. And I do know, actually, I'm lying. I do know a couple of these CDs. But I'm a bit nervous at the moment, actually, because I'm actually bidding on a Holy Grail item off eBay. And the auction shuts down in half an hour. I just hope to God I've got it. I did bid on a Wolvesbane album, or I was going to. And it's like a £14 album. And this guy was selling his copy for £2. I thought, I've got to get this to the collection, because Wolvesbane are a local band. They're from Tamworth in Staffs. And I was keen up to bid. And I forgot all about it, didn't I? Because I think there was some football on that evening, and I forgot all about it. And it sold for about £2.40. Now the cheapest one I've seen on eBay or Discogs is around about the £15 mark. So I feel a bit gutted. So I'm not going to mention the album, but I have bid, and it's a bit of a Holy Grail item, and that's very, very. It's about half the price you normally pay for it. So within half an hour, or if you hear my phone go off, I've got it. So hopefully. But no, back to the albums anyway. As I say, I'm not going to talk about them because I know nothing about them. But thanks, Scott, anyway. But this is a band called Crossfire, and it's on the Rocks Records. There it is there. It's got a great album cover. I think Scott might have done it. It's definitely Christian metal because that's Golgotha. If you don't know what Golgotha is, I'm not going into religion, but you just look it up. But they're the three crosses. But yeah, I know the significance of them, but I won't go into all that. Another one I got was Biogenesis. This is the promo, I believe, of the actual album. I absolutely love this band, and this one hasn't been off my CD player. Thanks, Scott, for sending me this. It's melodic metal. It's awesome. There's a female drummer, and if you haven't discovered them already, I urge you to do so. You won't be disappointed with them. It's just like melodic metal at its very best, and it's got a killer version of Land of Confusion by Genesis. Now, if you see me rant on in previous videos, I can't stand cover bands or tribute bands or cover versions of songs. To me, it's like write your own material. You know, if you're going to perform music, don't rip somebody else off, which we've heard 100 times. At least if you're going to, charge the public for money and T-shirts, at least have the decency to write your own material. That's my attitude on it. But it's a really, really, really good version of Land of Confusion. I'm doing a lot of cover versions. I've noticed cropping up on CDs just recently, and some of them, to me, are better than the originals. But that I'm not saying this because I like Genesis. I think they're a brilliant band. Phil Collins was from Twickenham, and I know that area 'cause it's by the rugby stadium. I know that area very, very well. And that's where I know exactly where Phil Collins started his career. But to me, sorry Phil, but that Biogenesis version of Land of Confusion is better than yours, buddy. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion only. And if you don't agree, don't agree. But I'm just stating what I think. The next one I've got is the Warriors of Metal Festival. Again, know nothing about this one. It's got some great artwork on the cover. It's a promo. She's telling me it's for promotional use only, and it looks like a lot of different bands. Yeah, I know what it is. Like a lot of different bands. But I hope you can see that okay. But yeah, but the next one is this band. And Scott must be psychic sending me, because I want you to investigate this band. It's a band called Saint, which I believe are Christian metal. And it's from 2014. But thanks a lot, Scott. It's just, again, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not know nothing about it, but I'll give it a listen and get back to you on what you think of it. But it's got to be good anyway. It's awesome, and I know what this next album is. As you might not know, but in 2 weeks' time, on the 21st, is Record Store Day. Now, I'm not going into the ins and outs of it because I have mixed reservations about it. I just love the event of it, of getting up at 7 in the morning, walking down Camberley High Street on the London Road, kicking down with rain. And I mean, the day I could go on and on and on about Record Store Day, the pros and cons. But I just like the atmosphere of meeting some brother record collectors and just talking music. That's what it means to me. And not being a drinking person, I can go to another haunt I go to in Camberley. We have a Belgian bun, which is a cake and a cup of coffee, and it's just a really nice morning out. Then you can come home and make a video of all the records you bought. I was talking to somebody about it. Well, I never go there with high expectations, but I'm not, because you're not going to get the records you're after anyway. Because we was discussing that last year. Because there's only like 12 on the planet or something. I don't know if I'm wrong, but it's not going to fulfil your expectations record-wise. I just go there. It's just a great atmosphere and a great day out. But I got this album, and apparently this is a record store day, one of these record store day exclusive limited edition live CDs. Liberty Eglite from Metallica. Don't know me French, so I'm not even going to translate that. But it's Metallica live at the Bataclan. And thanks Scott for this, I'm really made up. But it's a big tracks listing. It's got the Four Horsemen, Leper Messiah, it's early stuff. But what I love about this CD, I'm not going into the Bataclan because what happened there in 2015 with the Eagles of Death Metal is the same venue. I talked about it on my last video when I discussed that Eagles of Death Metal record. But I can't wait to listen to this. But I apologise, I haven't had last couple of weeks. I haven't had a chance to listen to much music because I've had other issues going around and it's all been a bit tough. But everything's settling down now, so everything should be alright. And I've got a few more bits and pieces. Yeah, this is a band called Conviction. And, oops, sorry about this. And I've got these here as well. This one here. It's a band called Conviction, and I don't know nothing about them, Scott. So I'm not going to talk about them, but I can't wait to play it. Thanks very much. PC, it's quite a long offering today. I hope you've enjoyed me rant. I mean, well, I won't call it a rant, but me natter. I hope to do a few more VC videos now, because I say things are settling down here. And I just want to wish everybody a happy day in this lovely weather we're having. And I hope you get all the records you want this weekend. And I'll see you next time. Tonsients.